Hey guys, it's Leo Stargazer. I'm here today with our sign-specific weekly astrological tarot reading. This is for the week of September 17th through September 23rd, and this reading is for Sagittarius. Okay, so quickly, there's one thing I'm seeing this week that I am basing this reading today on, and that is that the sun moves from Virgo into Libra, and Libra season begins, and we also get the autumn equinox. That's happening towards the end of the week, Friday or Saturday, depending on where you are. So this season is going to be all about balancing what we've learned from Virgo season, what we learned from Mercury retrograde, balancing all of those things with our self and the outside world. Basically, balancing inner and outer is going to be key. So I've done a spread in honor of that. And as we move into the season, I want to know, first of all, where you are right now. So the inner position is our first card. Then I want to know what the outer world is bringing to you, what others are bringing or what others are for you right now. And then right in the middle, the card in honor of Libra, balance. I want to know how we can balance that inner and outer as we start Libra season to stay even and powerful and chill. So let's hope the tarot helps us. As I begin my shuffle, I'm going to be thinking about the intention I have set for us, and that intention is balance. So I chose balance for all of the reasons I just said, and of course in honor of Libra. Libra is about a lot more than balance, but it's the key feature and it's the key thing that I want all of us to engage with this season. So, especially this week, I'm hoping the tarot can give us that guidance we need to get us to that point. So, let's start. In the inner position, so the position representing you, the card that I draw is the Four of Pentacles. Outer, others. The Eight of Wands reversed. Balance. How can we balance inner and outer? Hopefully Libra and the tarot can help us. The Knight of Pentacles reversed. Okay. Oh, wow. It's an interesting spread. It's very, I wouldn't say complicated for sure, but it is definitely kind of balanced in its own way. But let's just get started before I get ahead of myself. In the inner position, the card that I drew for you was the Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles in inner is showing me that I think whatever lessons you learned from Virgo season, whatever lessons you came across, whatever, maybe what Mercury retrograde was for you, what you learned now that it is direct. I think that any of that stuff you are holding for yourself right now. You are holding on to them. You're clinging to this last little bit of Virgo season. You're clinging to all of what this has meant for you during this time. Maybe it's something literal, like something you earned that you're kind of trying to really hold on to before the season shifts. Something you think you're really going to need, either figuratively or literally, in Libra season. Something you think you're going to need to keep yourself balanced. You're grasping onto that very, very tightly. I'm not really going to make a judgment call on whether or not that is good for you or bad for you. I think that it's going to depend a lot on the outside card. Where and who is represented by the Eight of Wands reversed. Because depending on whether or not this card is representing the idea that things are going to just kind of stay the same as you switch seasons, you're kind of holding on to all this stuff and you're kind of going to be able to use it as we move forward, and your people are going to be able to use it, and you're all going to be on this kind of just chill trajectory forward. I think that's one possibility. It could also be, though, that, and again, this is where how tightly you're holding on to this stuff is good or bad, is if the Eight of Wands here is actually representing this idea that while, yes, you're on this even kind of flow, you aren't headed anywhere. You aren't headed in a purposeful direction. You aren't headed in a direction that's going to come to a conclusion that'll help you sustain balance, to sustain what the lessons you've learned, the stuff you're holding on to. In order for you to keep that stuff the way you obviously want to keep it, you're going to need to, if the Eight of Wands represents this idea of not being grounded, you're going to need to either let go of that to help you ground, or use what you've held on to help you ground. So I think regardless of if you're clinging too tightly or not, the Eight of Wands, and also regardless of if the Eight of Wands represents just kind of a chill vibe or if it represents some kind of flailing, regardless of those things, the balance card gives us the advice that we need. Libra is going to give us the advice that you need, give you the advice that you need, regardless of whether you're clinging too tightly or whether you're grounded or heading towards being grounded or not. Knight of Pentacles, reversed, is showing me that what's going to keep you balanced, what's going to keep you and your people balanced, what's going to keep you balanced on the journey going forward, is utilizing your resources, those resources you're clinging to, utilizing those to utilizing those on the journey as it kind of just keeps going to find grounding. The Knight of Pentacles is grounded. He's solid. Him and his horse, they're solid on the ground. But they're so steadfast and focused on just the forwardness of everything, or what's in front of him, that they are missing the bigger picture. So, to bring it all back, that's the key to balance for you with Libra season. It's going to be not just going in one direction infinitely. It's going to be for you and yours to utilize everything that you've earned and learned from Mercury retrograde and Virgo season, all of that stuff happening in Virgo, to utilize all of that, to utilize it to effect. But the only way you can do that, the only way you can keep that balanced, is if you widen your perspective, not just on what's in front, but what's around. If you can incorporate all of what's around you with what you've learned, you can continue on the journey forward with your people. You will be able to find somewhere to land. And in order to maintain balance, we have to find somewhere to land. You can't just be moving forward without any focus. Knight of Pentacles says, focus on what's in front. That's great. What you're doing is great. You're solid, you're stable, you're going to be able to move forward. But what you need to do, and what you need to help others to do, is you need to look around you, embrace everything else that's around you. Maybe they're also holding on to their pentacles. Maybe they are also holding on to what they learned. You guys need to use everything together for a purpose, find that purpose. Your goal this week, for the last bit of Virgo season, is, first of all, to fully trust that whatever you're holding on to is going to be super, super useful going forward. Also, to fully be okay with the fact that you're going to be moving just steadily onward. Nothing wrong with that. But in order to maintain balance, in order to sustain balance, you have to incorporate everything else around you. It's not just about the task. It's not just about the forward. It's about the soul. It's about the heart. It's about the mind. It's about all of the suits. It's about all of the elements. It's about all of the rest of the signs. It's about everything. Knight of Pentacles reversed is saying, you need to connect everything together. And once you do that, that's what your balance is. Your balance is connection. That's what I'm seeing. So it's okay to cling on to what you've learned. You earned it. You deserve it. But use it to get somewhere and to do something. And that's where you'll find balance and connection. I'll see you next week.